everybody, this is Elissa from Mink Arts and Crafts, and today we have the next episode of our flower delivery comparison series. And don't mind the meandering pug, she's going to go in and out, back and forth. She decided to walk away today. As you can see, today I do not have to worry about consolidating any more of the drill pots for you guys and your drill containers for you guys. So you don't have to see any more drill containers, which is a nice breather for you all. So what we're gonna, so that should hopefully make this video go a little bit quicker, because, you know, I'm trying to run through it so it's not like a 15-minute video. So what we're gonna, I'll kind of go over it all for you. So of course we have version 1 right here, and then we have version 2 right here. And for this, oh, Mylin has decided it is playtime. And she wants to play with Bird, which is a flamingo toy, because of course, flamingos. So for this video, or this week, we finished this section. Well, I finished this section right here. Oh, I laid a couple extra drills. So it was this section right here, and then this section right here. So the same section on each canvas. So version 1, that one took me 3 hours and 27 minutes, which was the exact same time as the section prior. And then version 2 took me 4 hours and 56 minutes, which was like 1 minute longer than it took me for the week prior. So pretty comparable that this section took the same amount of time as this section, and basically this section took me the same amount of time as this section. So pretty comparable timing wise for those ones. So essentially it was just this section here was a very heavy confetti section on both of the canvases. Right through here and right through here, which is surprising. I don't know why that particular section took me so long on each of these two kits, because it was significantly longer on both of them. Both on version 1 and on version 2, section 3 was significantly longer. So as we look at this, you can see just kind of following along the trend, vastly different rendering. I love the fact that the stairs are starting to really start to take shape, and you can see as we're coming down you've actually got some steps. When you look at it close up, like on version 2, even from up close you can tell that these are stairs right here, and over here on version 1 up close it's not really super clear. When I'm looking at it just even from like 18 inches away, it's not super clear yet that these are stairs. Kind of like the, you know, they're not like an actual staircase, but they're like a pathway step. And it's not a super clear cut, oh yes, these are stairs when you see this. And that's something that's kind of interesting, but when you see it from the viewing distance, just like the 2.5, 3 foot distance away that you guys are with the camera, you can actually tell that really comes through well on the camera. So following along the trend, you can see, I'm gonna try to make this video shorter than the other ones because I'm not going to rehash everything that we've had up here. I'm just going to kind of touch base on what we're seeing down in this section here. So following along on the similar trend to what I've commented on before, vastly different rendering between these two kits. So again, the windows, we don't see that double painting down here in these lower windows, which I think not having this extra double painting really makes a difference. It's too busy right through here with these double paned windows. So the windows down here on kind of like the lower story, I think look much better, not having that extra pane added in. Because of course, which they didn't do any of that double painting over here. Ooh, sorry, I feel like I've got a sneeze coming on. So that's kind of nice. What is really cool, and it's not something that I really had noticed or seen until I'm literally just looking at it right now. So you can notice in this, I guess it would be a window, in the building, because of course this is a flower delivery, like a flower shop, but this I would assume would be some kind of display or window. This is an actual, like, you've got these little flowers right here that you're seeing, and I didn't even notice it because I work on the canvas sideways, so you don't see the details, you just put in drills down, but you can actually make out that these are actual flowers, and it's kind of cool seeing that. They're actually rendered, this flower is actually rendered basically the same size as this one on the smaller kit. But again, this is a case of they have done completely different rendering throughout this entire region. When you look at it, it just like, you can see there's all of this green right here, this vast shading of green, and then you're like, well, there's completely different colors here compared to here. So these colors are completely different. Like this basically looks like it's just part of the building coming down, because it's kind of like this grayish tone that we're seeing right through here. But over here it looks like it's more of like these greens kind of like filtering down the side of the building. And then you've got the line of like whether it's the display case or the building, we'll see, but it's a lot more of the greens, whether it's vines, whatever it may be, it's a lot more greens right through here versus this is like grays with a little bit of the greens interspersed. So it's just a very interesting difference that we're seeing between the two here and here. This part very much similar as far as how they rendered the kind of pixelated flowers here. A little bit more like to it on this side. It's obviously going to be more pixelated because of how much smaller this one is versus over here. And then again, you've got a lot more of these like gray-green tones here and a lot more pinks interspersed compared to what you see on this side. And interestingly enough, on this side, almost this entire section over here are different shades of the fairy dust. So we've got over here, we've basically got this green fairy dust, the goldish fairy dust. We've got a little bit more green fairy dust in here, more of that gold fairy dust. We've got an AB, more green fairy dust, that bluish fairy dust all through the window. And there's more ABs kind of interspersed throughout here. And then we come over to this one, and we've got a little bit of that gold fairy dust in here. And then a little of the blue AB, but that's about it. Whereas this one has some of the red AB, a little of the green. There's a little bit, not as much as some of the previous sections had as far as the special drills, but it does have a lot just in this section right here. It still has quite a lot. But the color tones are very, very different with these color choices that they've chosen, as I've commented before, where you're like, okay, well, why it made them choose to render with such different colors. I know, like, I expected the rendering to be different between this one to this one because of the size differences, but I was not expecting this completely different color rendering. This down here is actually surprising me. Like, this little section is looking a little bit closer between the two so far. Granted, we'll see more as I move down into the next section down. But it's really fascinating seeing the differences as this is taking form and shaping up. Let me get out of my crouched position and see if there's anything else I want to comment on from the top down position. But it's looking really, really beautiful, and I mean, like, I'm really excited to work on the next phase down on it, which we're down to only 2 more sections left coming down. I'm going to see if I can get it to, oh, well, it's not going to slide if I'm standing on the towel. Let's see if I can get it to go that way a little bit. I'm trying to get that one to move a little bit. There we go. So that way you guys can see a little sneak peek of what we have left on this half. Let me bring it up just a little bit more. There we go. So you guys can see a tad bit more. All right, so that is what we have left to do on this canvas. You can see we start into the 2 sections with the bike, and then the design that you're going to see down here on the pathway, and more of the flowers over in here for that basket, but this bicycle and more of this path coming down, which I'm really excited to work on. But that's what we have left on the left side of this canvas, and then we will be halfway done. So it's coming along nicely. I'm excited to see how it turns out as we continue to make progress on it. It continues to surprise me as I'm working my way down, the progress that I make throughout. It's surprising how different it's looking, because I was kind of expecting it to just be a matter of them basically rendering it to a larger size, but essentially it'd be like, you know, similar colors same colors, but just rendered into a larger size. So it very much has surprised me how completely different the rendering, colors, whole 9 yards, everything is turning out between these two kits. But I think I was pretty true to point. I kept this one short and sweet for you guys, which I'm going to try to do because there's not as much that I need to hash out each time I do these little comparison sections and reveal a section for you guys. But that was what I wanted to showcase for you guys. So this was the next iteration, like the next iteration of our flower delivery comparison series. I think this was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be episode 7 or 8. Whatever episode it is, it will have been up on the video for the thumbnail. But that is all I have for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye!